Bulldog Nation, you are now going to witness, watch, and listen to the best podcast in the league. Get set for a wild ride with From the Hill Podcast, featuring Wayne Cartwright, Damian Green, Tanarius Gooden, David Thomas, Jennifer Murray, and Corey Williams. Don't miss out. Subscribe now to From the Hill Podcast. It's time to turn up the excitement and make some noise.
Yo, what up, good people? How's everybody this great day? What up, Dave? You good?
I'm good, man.
That's good. Good is good. Good is great, man. Hey, everybody, welcome to the show once again. Pleased to be here on another fabulous Tuesday night. We got a lot of things going on. First off, let's put these updates on the bottom of the screen. On the bottom of the screen, we've got all of our updated sports information. So new addition this week, Dave, we got softball up there. Softball, they get their season started on the 7th coming up here. And we had them on last week, and that was a great time. So they are a new addition to the show. All right. Also, in addition, let's kick this off. Let's start. We talked about this last week. Go ahead. Let's talk about it this week, Dave.
As y'all already know, I say it every week. We got that 150th anniversary campaign happening. Last week, we were at 2.2 million with our individual gifts. So that's 15% of our $15 million goal that we're trying to reach. I'm not sure where we are now. I haven't seen the university post anything, but as they provide updates, I'll make sure that we have them to provide them on the show. And so if you guys haven't, donated already, you can go to the website, aamu.edu/give, or you can send a text to AAMU150 to make your donations.
That's what's up. Be conscious of that. Also, just we got basketball scrolling across the bottom of the screen. So the men, they picked up a win last night over Prairie View. So they're back in the win column. This is their upcoming schedule. You see they're getting ready to hit Florida coming up this weekend. So you'll see that. Saturday's game is on the SWAC Digital Network. All right, so you can see that on YouTube. All right, and then also here's the women. They're also headed to Florida. Their next game is Thursday night at Bethune-Cookman in Daytona. All right, they also were victorious yesterday as well over Prairie View.
Yeah,
and then here are the women. Right, and here are the updated standings. The men, as they were last week, they were in 8th. This week, they're in 8th. All right. So just remember, the top 8 teams do advance to the SWAC tournament in Atlanta. So the men got to keep winning. And then last but not least, here's the women. They're following Texas Southern, who leads the way with an unblemished record. And you see the ladies, they sit in the 4th position. But still, plenty of season left. And continue to root on those Bulldog basketball teams. All right. So with all of those things being mentioned, I do want to, and I would be remiss if I did not do this real quick. We had a gentleman that watched our show. He was very faithful. He was on our show one time. Just like to just send the condolences to the family of the late trustee Dwayne Watts. He passed away this week, and want to send all of our love and all of our condolences to his family. And many of you all knew him as well. He was a friend to many. He was a good guy on this show, and he really, really loved Alabama A&M. So we send our hearts out to him. Absolutely. One time.
I think you're mute, Jen. We can't hear you.
Can't even hear anything you saying, Jen. So with all this mentioned, what we want to do real quick, because these gentlemen, they're working hard. You might know some of these folks that we're going to bring before you here in the first segment. Dave, I think you know these guys really well because you you participated a couple times maybe with them, right? Just a couple times.
Maybe once or twice.
Yeah, but as you know, they're headed out to LA to the Honda Battle of the Bands, and we're gonna bring them on real quick. Here is Mr. Carlton Wright, and then he's joined by Mario. Oh, I didn't see Mario get in the picture. Hey, how's it going, guys?
Thank you. Glad to be here.
So with everything that's going on here, we'll bring the graphic up one time. Battle of the Bands, Honda Battle of the Bands, SoFi Stadium, Los Angeles, California. That's the place, and you see the teams that will be in attendance. So, Mr. Wright, Mario, hey man, let's talk about it, man. How's everything been going with the preparations?
It's been going pretty good, I'd say. We're battling the elements. It's been really cold some nights, but, we tell the students, hey, we got to get out here because people in California don't give a freak about how cold it is down here. They want to see a great show.
That's right. Go ahead, Dave.
That's right. We got to get out there and perform. So A&M, the MMW, we're no stranger. I see I wore my shirt today specifically, because we're going to have y'all on. We're no stranger to the Honda Battle of the Bands. The band has been there, I believe, 5 times. So this would be the 6th appearance for the band. Is there anything different about this go around than it has been to the previous years? I know there was a different selection process this year. Usually they just have everybody go out there and vote for the top bands in the different conferences, but the voting was different this year.
This year's it's a stand component also, so we get a chance to get a few stand tunes in, and we were called out. So yeah. Folks, so we got it for them.
Who called y'all out?
North Carolina A&T.
Oh, okay. Okay. Y'all got that smoke for them. Okay. Jen, you got your sound together? Nope. Yes? Say something, Jen. Nope. Nope. All right. So Mr. Wright, tell everybody about the travel and all that. I mean, how I know going to California, I know for a lot of the band members have probably never even been to California. So this is probably a dream come true for them, right?
Absolutely. I really need Gary Gifford, our logistics manager on here, because Gary has done a great job pulling all this together. But in a nutshell, the travel is going to be like this. We're going to leave, I think, around 2 a.m. tomorrow, headed to Atlanta. We're going to fly out of Atlanta. We got 3 different flights taking the band to and from LA. So it's been a heck of a process getting all the students signed up and registered. It was a long process that they had to go through online. We all had to do this. And you're right. A lot of students have never been to California, and quite a few have never flown before. So it's going to be a great experience for everybody.
That's what's up.
Yeah. I was really excited that the band was selected to go for all the reasons that you named, Mr. Wright. I remember when we did the Rose Bowl parade in 2006, and
right.
It was a lot of firsts for all of us, being on the plane, being in California. It was just like a great, experience for us. So how was the reaction of those students? Again, those who first time going to be in California, the first time on the plane. What was their reaction to once you guys once they found out that you guys were selected to go to the Honda?
Well, I think we were in. We hadn't even started band camp yet, had we?
All of that was decided before the season started, so we had to make the video that went. That we had to respond to A&T and all that. So coming into the season, everybody kind of knew where we were going. So we're just excited. We were preparing for it.
So it's not like when we were announced to go to the Macy's Thanksgiving parade, everybody was together then. But like Mario said, just everybody's all over the country. And then when we came back together, we let them know, hey, this is really big. So we can't put the football season ahead of this, but we're going to start working towards that eventually. So now the buzz is really big now.
Yeah, and somebody said, North Carolina A&T funky self. And he said, I want to see what flavor we take to the West Coast. Hey, hopefully, hey, we know it's going to be a good one. We know it is. We expect nothing less than the best, man, because we know. I see the intensity all over their faces right now. It's serious.
Yeah, we have a really good show planned and everything. I think it's going to cater to the California crowd. We're going to play some music by the California hip hop artists and things like that. And we're also going to do a little tribute to Tracie Jones because he was big in the California scene as well. So I think it's going to be a show that everybody is going to enjoy. Mario put his foot in this show, writing the music, so it's going to be great. Okay,
Jen, we got you now.
All right. I hope y'all didn't touch while I was rebooting, but can you tell like the alumni that are just not familiar with the ins and outs of band about how important these types of appearances in different parts of the country are for the band?
Well, I think it's very important because west of Houston, there are no HBCUs out that way, and our Assistant Vice President for Marketing, Mr. Aaron Thompson, he has 3 billboards out there with A&M logos on it, and Start Here, Go Anywhere, our motto, and he has a picture of one of the drum majors. But to circle back and answer your question, it's really big because we get to perform in front of students who've never seen us before, and hopefully we can deliver a performance that they would like, and we can entice them to come to Alabama A&M University. Not just to play in the band, but to get a degree.
Yes, indeed. Mm-hmm. Yes, indeed. So, so just for everybody, just for everybody's awareness, Mr. Wright and Mario, where can everybody view this event at?
I think Honda's going to live stream it. It's on our website, the university's website. I can't remember exactly where it is, but I will find it and shoot it to you guys so that you can post it between now and the show. But it is going to be live streamed on Honda's website. So that's all I have right now.
Hey, that's better than nothing, man. That's good because we want to make sure that a lot of people know. Dave, you got one more thing before we close?
Yeah. I wanted to because you talked about recruiting, so to speak. Do you guys have any other events planned while you're there? Because I think there are some people who aren't too familiar with the HBCU band world, and as bands are traveling, that these trips are also recruiting tours. So sometimes there might be additional performances or appearances that you might do wherever the event will take place. So you guys do anything outside of the Honda while you're there?
Our schedule is kind of packed with all of the practices and everything, but we're working on some things now with some local connects, so we can get into some schools and see some of those students out there. I think if they really like what we do, I can't see them missing, us bringing our culture to LA. So hopefully they'll be at the Battle of the Bands. But as of right now, we're still working on getting to some of the schools. We have a connect there, so we were working on that. But our schedule is so very packed with practices and all kind of bonding things with the other bands. How many feathers?
37. I can imagine.
My fault. I was a little ahead of the curve, but we're going to get you out of here on this one. Showing y'all how y'all been getting ready. How many feathers?
37 degrees, right? Yes, sir. And it's going to continue to drop. Guys, listen. Let's get out here and execute everything that you're supposed to do. Every foot should be up at a 90-degree angle right here. Please, nothing less. Nothing less. None of this right here. None of this. Pick up your feet and march. When you go to dance band, over-exaggerate the moves. Let's execute, folks. We don't have time to be out here. We got to go inside and learn more music. Get the music tight. Understood? Yes, sir. Understood? Yes, sir. I'm still up. Yeah, don't speak my language. Don't speak my language. Don't speak my language. Yeah, how the f*** I'm still up. Yeah, don't speak my language. Yeah.
Shout out to y'all media person who put that together. That was really good.
Absolutely. Xavier Jones, he's flying out there with us. And as a matter of fact, he's out on the field right now at Louis Cruz Stadium. Mario about to ride out there and finish up practice, but he does a great job. We've been looking for somebody like that for years to hype up our media presence, and he's done exactly that.
Yeah, he's doing a great job.
Yes,
well, that's awesome, man. I was feeling that. Shit, man, it's 37 freaking degrees out here.
Oh, bro. Wayne, check this out, man. 37 degrees, that was warm. One night it got down to 10 degrees, and the valves were stuck on the instruments. The trombone slides couldn't move. But I'm like, hey, look, sing your music. We're going to do this. Sing your music.
Right, hum it in March.
That's it. That's it.
Hey, as a born and bred Ohioan that lives here in Ohio, we know about cold weather, baby. We know.
Here they go.
Hey,
we
but
get y'all out the Olympic champs in cold weather. We get it.
Hey, but you know what though? I'm appreciative. I'm very appreciative that y'all have this content because that's golden, and that is a precursor to what we could see next year. So yeah, gentlemen, best of everything when you head out to LA. Safe travels. Give them hell. Take down NCAA in North Carolina A&T and everybody else that want to get in y'all way.
And as we say in the band world, go blow them out.
Gotcha. And one more time, I know you started the show off with this, Wayne, but many condolences to Trustee Watson's family because he was a really great friend to the band program. And our president was going to be out in LA with us, but I think he's going to stay back to go to the funeral, which will be Saturday as well. So condolences to his family.
Yes,
absolutely.
Yes, indeed. Well said. Well, gentlemen, we look forward to hearing and seeing the great show and also hearing a great report. And we'll definitely have y'all on again because you know what it is.
Absolutely.
Marching Maroon and White continues to do his thing all day, every day. God bless y'all. See y'all on the next one.
Appreciate it. Right.
All right. Marching Maroon and White headed to LA, ready to do its thing. One more time. Here it is. 6 bands, 6 sounds, 1 field, Honda Battle of the Bands, SoFi Stadium, going down this weekend in Los Angeles. Yeah.
I am just so proud of them because, again, I remember when they were in New York, and for those of us that took the trip, just walking around the streets of New York, they were like, "Oh, that's the band that was in the parade. That's Alabama A&M." And so when they do these performances, and I'm glad he highlighted, it just not only increases the cachet of the band, but it makes the whole school looks good. So again, congratulations to the Marching Maroon and White.
Absolutely. Now, one other person that we want to bring on before we get into the rest of the show tonight. We had a gentleman who decided he has a little bit of spare time. He's going to join us for a couple minutes. You've seen him before. He's already got his gear on. He's a proud Alabama A&M Bulldog. He is a member of the NFC champion Philadelphia Eagles. Marlon Sanders, what's up, my man? How you doing, man?
How we doing? Glad to be on, man. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, man. So NFC champions, second time in 3 years. This time you headed to New Orleans, brother.
Oh yeah. So I don't know if a lot of people know I'm from Mobile, Alabama. So that's that's right down. That's an hour and 30 minutes. So, and I grew up going to Saints games, so it's like this is perfect.
Yeah, man. And you get to go in that dome, but you don't just get to go in the dome. You get to be all on the field. You get to be all in everything. So,
yes, sir. That's right. My bad.
So last time you went, you were in Arizona. That ain't that's not too shabby either. But since we last talked to you, man, what's changed? Like, how have things progressed in your career there with Philadelphia, man? Since we last talked to you,
I wouldn't say it's nothing in title, but more in responsibility. Handling more things, just tasked and held accountable for bigger things now. Like I was doing the practice music and stuff like that. Now I'm still doing that and running offensive meetings or things, just a whole lot of it's a it's a million other things now. It feels like since 2022, but
yeah, man. And Diedrich once said, "My dog for life." Proud of you,
Coach D.
Yeah, Dave.
But,
so Marlon, what's the preparation like for a media person within the NFL, and not just with going to the Super Bowl, but just these big games in general? What is your day looking like leading up to the Super Bowl?
so today's kind of crazy. It's probably the craziest day that you'll get out of the Super Bowl. Now I've been through it all. This is my second time going through it. This is like tickets day, the whole the housekeeping kind of stuff, like getting your parents situated, family, all that kind of stuff. And then you have different trucks. So I'm in coach's video, obviously, and you have to get coaches ready to hit the road, get their laptops ready to download, Kansas City film and stuff like that, and get TVs ready for the hotel. All this stuff is due on Thursday. And then you got, walkie-talkies and all cameras, all kind of other stuff like going out Saturday. It's just a whole lot of stuff. Just every day you got to kind of be, what do I have going on today, including doing stuff for yourself, getting your bag back, to go down there for practice and all that kind of stuff. And it's a lot, but it's a blessing. I never like think of it any other way than just being a blessing.
Yeah. Jen?
Our school motto says, "Start here, go anywhere." And you are the definition of that. So can you tell those who, especially who say that an HBCU education is important, how did your experiences at Alabama A&M prepare you for pretty much the world's biggest sports stage?
I would just say, and another thing, service is sovereignty. So that's like, I took that as like no job is too small. So I would help out any kind of way I could. And I remember it was one time they came back from a late road trip, Monday Night Football against Dallas, and I wasn't required to be there by any stretch of imagination. And I came in, like trying to help them unload stuff off the trailer. Like, what are you doing here? I was just like, service is sovereignty. Like, I would say like being at HBCU, the class size and just one-on-one connection, like it helped me be able to learn how to navigate more so, like than other people that went to, not anything against PWIs or whatever, but like I can have a personable conversation with people and it's like authentic and it's felt, because I know myself from going to a HBCU. I think that's the best thing that came from that. And I appreciate Alabama A&M, man. It's I don't think I would get the same opportunities at another school that I got at Alabama A&M. I know Alabama A&M may not be everyone's first choice, like just being honest. Like we all wanted to go maybe to Harvard, who knows? But Alabama A&M, I gained an opportunity to start doing video, what I'm doing now. Being in that tower in the end zone and being on the lift and all that kind of stuff, doing the small stuff. 4:00 practices, Coach Spady and Coach Maynard. 5:00, it wasn't fun, but like I'm like, if I can make it here, I know I can make it, in New Orleans doing the Super Bowl. Like it's profit now. It feels like,
That's what's up, man. So I know being the NFC champion, y'all gonna get to practice at the Saints facility, man.
Oh yeah,
over there in Metairie. So you gotta make sure, man, when you go in that facility, man, you gotta take it in. You gotta take it in for real, bro. Like, hey, that's like the closest thing to playing for them.
Yeah, I know. It's like I said, growing up there, like reading about them in the newspaper, everything like that. And I've been in a few facilities, whatever. Obviously, our own facility, but like that New Orleans, that Saints logo, it kind of does something, like being a kid from the Gulf Coast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
yeah. Can the Eagles rub some of their good luck? And because as a Saints fan, we need a lot of prayer. So if y'all could sprinkle some of that good luck While you're down there.
While you're there.
Hey, they on the get back tour, man. Hey, they trying to get that get back from Super Bowl 57, man.
I
2 years.
I am an NFC person. I am rooting 10 toes down for the Eagles.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Well, hey, bruh, it's a pleasure to always get to catch up with you. Hey, man, and also, being from Mobile, man, hey, shout out to Carson Vincent down there killing it at Senior Bowl practice, man.
Oh, yeah. Hey, that man is going viral on Twitter. He is going viral on Twitter.
I've been kind of busy or whatever and kind of out of the pocket, but I was like, Carson Vincent is popping. I was like, oh, yeah. I said, I gotta go get out of him and talk to him, man. He's doing a good job.
He tossed that Texas A&M defensive end around like a rag
He sure
doll.
did.
He may have to come and get with us.
Hey, you know what, man? Y'all get with Howie, get with that scouting department, man. Hey, look him up, man.
Upload that video to everybody's laptop.
For real. Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Hey, enjoy the whole experience, man. And congrats once again. And prophetically, man, you're gonna get you a Super Bowl ring this time. It's coming. It's coming.
Oh, yeah.
It's coming.
That, man.
Yeah, man. So we'll catch up with you soon, brother. And good luck, man. And as always, go Bulldogs, and for you, go Eagles.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
All right, man. Good to see you.
Yep. Thank you.
All right.
So proud.
Marlon in the house. All right. So now we're going to move along here in our show tonight. These next individuals we're going to bring before you, they're very special. They're going to talk to you about a very special initiative. So let's bring on Tracie Ridley. Good evening.
Good evening.
Mr. Sylvester Johnson. Good evening to the both of you.
Good evening.
Good evening.
And how's everything with both of you this evening? How you feeling?
Hey, after following Mr. Wright and Marlon, I feel great. Like, this show is best in class. I mean, this is awesome. So, awesome.
Thank you.
Well, both of you are here. Sylvester, you're the YMTF corporate chair, and Tracie, as well as Michelle Jordan Gilliam, who's not here, you are the corporate co-chair of the YMTF. And, with all of that, and I'm going to bring this up here, we can talk a little bit about YMTF and what it is. And I know it stands for Youth Motivation Task Force. But talk about this gentleman who's on our screen, Tracie, and then Sylvester.
Okay, so let's go ahead and start with Sylvester because
Sylvester, then Tracie. Sorry.
Hey, no worries. Hey, first of all, thank you all for having us on the show. When I think about that start here, go anywhere, this is a perfect example, right? So a lot of people are familiar with YMTF, but what most people are not familiar with is how it really started. It is a national program, right? Signed off by presidents back in the early 60s. But Ben Davis was the person who actually initiated it at Alabama A&M University 50 years ago. And he probably only missed maybe 3 or 4 of those events over the last 40 years. Unfortunately, Mr. Davis passed away a year ago, this coming April. And so one of the things that we're going to do to honor him is we're going to create a competition around entrepreneurship and innovation. We've already gotten seed money to actually support that. So we're super excited about that. Tracie?
I think Sylvester covered it all. And I really wanted Sylvester to talk about Mr. Davis because he had an up close and personal relationship with him. And he's very passionate about what he actually started with the university. So that's why I really wanted Sylvester to start off with talking about Mr. Davis.
Awesome. All right.
Well, you guys had just mentioned, Sylvester, you just mentioned that you guys have you have a 50-year anniversary that's going to be happening. Talk to us about that anniversary, what's going to be, taking place in it. And I guess if anybody wants to attend some of the events or festivities you guys are having going on, share that with the Bulldog community.
Great. So first of all, the event is actually April the 6th through the 8th. But one of the reasons that we want to get before this audience, and Tracie is going to speak to this, there are other things that are going on that you need to capitalize on before that. And so Tracie, I'm going to let you hit that.
Okay, so perfect. So the event is April the 6th through the 8th, and it's going to be held on the campus of Alabama A&M University. The CDS department, which is the Career Development Services, they're the ones that have the umbrella of this particular program. So we work closely with them, which is the advisory board, and we have a lot planned for this particular time. So it's 2.5 days. We start on a Sunday and we end on a Tuesday. So we typically go into the classroom and we pair up with different alumni, other corporates, and whomever would like to participate. But we want to make sure that they're professionals that are coming in, talking to the students about their careers, thinking about our advice that we can share with them that will help them move along into their careers. And we want to make sure that we have a professional networking mixer for the students. What we realize is that some of the students, when they're going into corporate America, a lot of times they don't know how to get into those settings and talk to different professionals. So we want to make them comfortable in those settings. We always remember that's when the deals are done, when you're actually face to face with a lot of these corporates and just thinking about talking face to face with different people. So we want to make sure that they're comfortable in that. And like I said, we go into the classrooms, talk to the different students. We pair them up between 2 to 5 different consultants, and we look at the degree that you received from A&M or wherever you received a degree from, whether if it's from another HBCU or a PWI. We want to make sure that they're in the degrees that the students are looking to go into. And so that way they can ask questions to the different consultants, and we just share our personal advice to help them move along into their careers. And then also, too, another thing we also talk about is the mentoring program. A lot of times the students really want to just have a one-on-one, up close and personal relationship with an individual. And that's the time to really impart into the students. I am a mentor for one of the students, too. And when I tell you, I think it's more rewarding for me than it is for him. It's carved out, whatever time you have. We don't ask you to dedicate 10 or 12 hours. It's whatever your schedule can dictate. And we also do mock interviews. A lot of times we see that students really have a challenge with interviewing, but this is the time for us to go in and give them tips of how they can become better equipped in interviewing. So Sylvester, would you like to add anything?
Yeah, I would just add that, we've seen on the low side, if you take out COVID, anywhere from 60 consultants to the high side pre-COVID, we would have as many as 120 consultants from all over the country. About 90% of them were A&M grads, and they would come back. And so one of the things that I would ask, anyone who's listening to this, some of the feedback that we've gotten from students in the classroom, they look at a guy like me, look, I marched in the band with Mr. Wright, right, back in the day. So I'm gonna date myself, right? And so the students would say, hey, Mr. Johnson, I'm down with what you're doing and your success, but there's a pretty significant gap between where you are and where I'm sitting. Can you get people to come back that is 5 years or less out of school? And so when I think about Marlon, who just talked to us, and other people that may fall into that category, we want to get them back to help encourage and motivate those students. And the other reason we want to get them back is because they're the next generation of leaders, and we have to be thinking about that. I came to A&M in 1984, and other than the time that I spent overseas in Germany in the military, I've always contributed to the university. This is my 20th year actually working with YMTF. And when I was a student there, I never even saw YMTF. Graduated, had no idea what YMTF is. And so I don't want to take for granted that just because someone's an A&M grad, that they know about YMTF. So we need to get the word out.
Yeah. And I want to add something to that as well. This is my 9th year. We're going into my 10th year. And I'm the same as Sylvester. I didn't know anything about YMTF. And so this is like a big deal. And when I talk to a lot of my friends, a lot of them didn't know anything about YMTF. So this is the reason that we're on this podcast, because we really want to inform everybody. This is the time for us to give back to our university. And really with the students there, they really need our information. They need our best practices. We go back for homecoming, it's grand, it's great to see everybody. But then I look at what are we doing to give back to the students to equip them to move on to the next level. And so I think about you all as being hosts. A lot of you all, you all can help the students, because thinking about the professions that you all are in, they would love to do that. So this is the time for us to really encourage everybody, give back. Marlon talked about serving to sovereignty. That is so important, because now, this is our service giving back to our university. Resources doesn't just include money. Money is important as well, but we got to give back our experiences, our skill sets, our talents, and even just think about what we've learned.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I really love that, especially the resources part, because anytime resources is brought up, our minds automatically go to something monetary. And even with me being part of the alumni chapter here in Charlotte, I preach that same thing, to our chapter members, or whether it's to other alums who are not part of an alumni chapter, to get involved in a local alumni chapter where they are, because there are other ways that we can give back outside of opening our wallets. We got to do that too, but it's just not the only way. It's not the only value that we could bring to the university. Sorry, Gene, I saw you was about to talk.
Oh, no, you're good. No, that like y'all laid out that you actually answered some of the questions I was going to ask. But I do want to say this, especially as a hiring professional in my career, what you do is very important, because we it's just good for our young people to be prepared when they're entering in a corporate atmosphere. What I do want to ask is 50 years that you're celebrating, what do you see in the next 5 years? What are your goals for the next 5 years for YMTF?
So if I can explain kind of how the corporate chair actually works. So as the corporate chair, so I will chair this year and I'll chair the following year. And traditionally, whoever the co-chairs are, they actually move into the chair role. And we do that to make sure we maintain the continuity of the program. And so for me, my vision for the program is, number one, we want to be able to continue to reach more students. And so we're working with the administration. This is not a consultant event only. We're involved with the different schools on campus to make sure that as many professors as possible can get us into the classroom so students can see and be able to connect with us. The second part is to bring back more consultants, because there's been times where we've had more requests or more demand than we had consultants to actually go and address that. And then probably the third thing is that sometimes people have graduated from school and they assume that, like most people that's probably watching this, they're probably thinking, hey, this is just for the students. I can guarantee you that if you come as an alum, you're going to run into at least one or two other alums that's going to be able to help you along the way. I guarantee you're going to connect, because there are people that I know that's watching this that when I was new in the program, they helped me along the way. And so I think we have to continue to network with each other. And it's not just the students, it's us as alums, so that we can actually continue to grow and help each other with our careers.
Yes, indeed. And go ahead, Tracie. Sorry, go ahead.
I want to add another goal to that, because, we're all over the United States as far as Alabama A&M, looking at our education, the band, the whole 9 yards football team. But I really want us to put YMTF on the map as well nationwide, because we think about how many alumni that are throughout the United States. We got to make a greater impact than what we've been making. And when you look at all of the HBCUs, typically we're known for the band, we're known for football, all of that. And we're also known for, getting good education, being in different high figure, paying jobs. And that's good. But I want people to see us really giving back, like we're self-sufficient in our own university. We take pride in our HBCU because this is home for us. And we don't want to, even though, it's good to get money from, government and all these other entities, but it's nothing like us taking care of our own home. So I really want us to be on the map nationwide.
Absolutely. And one more time, I'm pulling this up while you're talking, Sylvester.
Yeah. So I was just going to plug behind Tracie and just say, I've been in corporate for almost 30 years. And when you're looking at trying to get money, the most valuable resource that a university, especially if you're HBCU, the most valuable resource that you have is your student, right? You got to be able to come with the numbers and the analytics to talk about how many people are participating. And sometimes there are people that come on campus, right, that's willing to give money. And sometimes people don't show up. And so we need to show up for our students. Dave, to your point, maybe everybody can't give, right? Don't let the money be the reason that you don't come and participate, right? We just need your presence to actually be there, because you'll be surprised at the number of people that will spend 4 years in school, maybe even 5, never even do an internship, and they graduate with a degree and can't get a job, right? It's too late to call, right? At that point, you're better served calling when you have a year or 2 left, so you can go out and you learn those things. And so we're just super excited about YMTF. We're going to continue to be excited, but at the end of the day, my time, Tracie's time is going to pass, just like Mr. Ben Davis, and we need that next generation to get the torch and carry this forward.
Yes, indeed. So you see, February 14th is the registration deadline. Check out that blazer. It's an exclusive. But exclusive, but also, this is just something that for those that are watching this live, scan that code, and those that are going to watch this, that are watching this back on replay, also scan this code, scan that QR code. Make sure you get involved with the Youth Motivation Task Force. And also, Jermaine Jenkins, I definitely wanted to make sure he let me know that he was a part of YMTF in 1991.
1991. Yes, he did.
1991. So yeah. And then it's me, Brad, said, great program. I remember them during my A&M days. And I also remember during my A&M days in the late 90s. So
yeah,
Tracie and Sylvester, this is a awesome work. I'm so glad that you had the chance to come on our show and also talk about this awesome initiative. And I wish y'all nothing but the best, because I know it's going to continue to be successful.
Hey, Wayne, thank you all again so much for having us. Quick shout out or our condolences to Dr. Wayne Watts. Look, a lot of people just know him as being the trustee president. I can tell you firsthand, there will be things that will be developed at A&M that you will see that happened solely because of his leadership. And so my condolences to the family. He was a great man.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Absolutely.
Well said.
And thank you all so much. We appreciate it. Appreciate you all for even allowing us to be on this podcast. Hopefully we'll get a chance to see each of you all participate this year for YMTF. But thank you all.
Yes, indeed. Anytime.
Absolutely.
Go Bulldogs, and
Go
God
Bulldogs.
bless.
Go Bulldogs.
All right. See you later.
Bye. Take care.
All right.
I definitely remember seeing what I saw YMTF. I saw things posted around campus about YMTF, but I never knew exactly who they were or what they did, or I guess how you become a part of it, or to what they were saying, get them to come speaking into one of the classes. I think that's something, I don't know how they would do that though, but how before you graduate, you had to go to the Career Development Center.
Yep.
Before you graduate, I think they should try to fit that in there somewhere. if it's like for an hour workshop or something like that, I don't know, make it a graduation requirement, because what they're providing is, very good information.
Yeah. And here's something I want to pull this up. And while we got a few more minutes, I do want to do this. All right. It's been a bit of a trying day for a lot of people, and it's been an interesting week for most. This comment that was here said the government can stop money at any time. We're seeing this happen in real time. We must be self-sufficient. Okay, I want to say this, and let me first preface what I'm going to say is that politics is not something that I have a lot of interest in. I don't necessarily like talking about political parties. I don't like talking about presidents, vice presidents, government. I don't like to get into that kind of stuff. Everybody that knows me, I love sports. I love Lord, and I love to talk about just all a bunch of meaningful and sometimes meaningless information. But I will say this about what's going on in society. And I'm going to say this from a HBCU perspective and also from a minority perspective. Okay. There are so many different things that is being spread about on social media. You will see that there is a lot of misinformation. There's a lot of confusion. You will also see people that have their, they'll get on their soapboxes and they'll say whatever their theories or whatever. Some of it being conspiracy driven, some of it just being deeply rooted from some of their upbringings. Now, everyone is entitled to their opinions, but in terms of an HBCU standpoint, we've been talking for a long time, long before even when any of us were conceived. When our parents and my mom went to Alabama A&M in 1968, people even long before that, about how the importance of us mobilizing and coming together. Now, we can talk a whole lot of trash when it comes to our sports teams, and that's always great. We can talk about bands. We can talk about how your campus look, all that stuff. But one thing you can't beat is when we all come together and unite as one to try to keep our culture strong and continue to grow. We can definitely be considered to be green in many things, but one thing we're not green in is how to come together and get things done when the time is right. And what I want to just say to a lot of people today is that this is not the time to be running amok. This is not the time to be jumping off the ship. This is the time to continue to get involved. We just had YMTF on, but there's a lot of other ways that you, I, everyone can be involved. Money is going to have to be given, because if it gets to a point where programs get cut, guess what? That's even more of an opportunity for us to mobilize. Now, another way that things can come into play for us to mobilize is that we just have to uplift each other as sisters and brothers, right? We just have to uplift each other, because everybody has children who are growing up right now, who are seeing things that are going on, and every generation is very different. What worked 10 years ago, 5 years ago, last year, last week, things are changing every single day. And it is not the time for you to be bickering, complaining, and moaning. It's time to mobilize. It's time to get yourselves educated on all things current. Get to the facts of the matter. Don't let somebody on social media telling you about what they think, what they believe, all these different things. Get to the truth and the heart of matters. Because today is the day where we have to be stronger more now than ever. And we are so capable, because the things that our forefathers and people that struggled through segregation, those people, they can tell these stories about how they made it through. But it's going to take even more of that strength even more of that strength to push in the days ahead. And I'm going to sit here and I'm going to continue to believe. But as I'm believing, the Bible says faith without works is dead. So you can be in the position of saying God is in control. You must have faith. You can continue to pray. But while you're doing all these things, make sure your works, your actions match up with the things that you say you believe in and the faith that you profess. Because it's going to take your works. It's going to take your encouragement. It's going to take your leadership to do some bigger things in 2025 and beyond. Because it doesn't matter who is in the White House. We all have a job to do, whether it's for your alma mater, whether it's in your own household, or whether it's in your community. And as for me and mine, we're going to stay on the battlefield because I'm not going to just see things not happen on my watch on the basis of me being lazy or falling asleep at the wheel. So, ladies and gentlemen out there, I make this appeal. Will you stand up and do your duty in 2025? Will you lead with your strength? And will you lead with your abilities? And will you lead with your finances? Will you give when giving is necessary? Will you give your time when giving your time is necessary? This ain't about showing up at football games. This ain't about all that right now. This is about, can you just stand up and do it for your family? And then lastly, when you do it, let's do it for the culture. Because HBCUs were created for a reason. And that same reason is what's going to keep HBCUs afloat, baby. I'm done. Y'all got something?
No.
Listen, the doors of the church are open. All right. You know, we can just go on to the benediction. May the Lord watch.
Right.
Hey, time to mobilize, man. It's time to come together. I'll also say this one quick statement. People who watch my other show, The Ride, I say this often, and I'll say it here on From the Hill podcast. I'm a fan of every single HBCU. Fan of every single person that went to an HBCU. The only time I'm not a fan of yours is when Alabama A&M plays you. Other than that, I root for everybody.
Right.
And I want everybody to make it. Everybody. I ain't laughing at no scandals. I ain't laughing at no shortcomings. I ain't laughing at none of that. Because when something happens to one, it's viewed as if it was us all.
Yep.
So let's do this thing, baby. Let's do it, man. Let's stand up, man. Let's do some big things. Let's do what people think we can't do. Let's get bigger. Let's get better. Let's grow stronger. Let's get smarter, man. Let's do what we do.
Let's get this.
I love HBCUs. Yeah, I love HBCUs, man. I said I've dedicated the rest of my life. I've dedicated it to HBCUs, covering it, talking about it, giving to it, just being about the culture because that's what it's for. That's what we doing. That's what we got to do. So, I do want to bring up one more slide here, and we talked about this already, and I'm gonna pull down the banner as it's loading up. We did talk about our brother, and it's this while it's coming up. We talked about him, Dave and Jen. You hadn't had anything to say about Trustee Watts, so I'll give you the floor.
Yes, I just wanted to highlight just how important he was. Dr. Watts was very accessible. And what I mean by that is, you know, he was so friendly. He'll come talk to you. I remember when we had the game in Austin Peay, he gave me one of the biggest hugs. Just so just so welcoming, and like everyone has said, like he really loved the university. So it is my sincerest condolences to his family. The world really lost a gem in Dr. Watts. And his leadership will definitely be missed. His contributions will be missed, but just his presence. You always see him at the games, sitting in the stands. He would sit in the stands and just, root or whatever. And my sincerest condolences goes to his family. He will truly be missed.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. Dave?
Yeah, well, I unfortunately haven't had the pleasure of meeting Dr. Watts in person. My actual first introduction to him was here on the show. I did always hear some really great things about him, and from him being on the show, you can tell he was 10 toes down for Alabama A&M. He was 10 toes down for the Hill, and he was just excited about everything that was coming, to the Hill. And he was also, as I said, I think Jim might have said that he was a big supporter of the podcast. So definitely condolences to his family, and we'll definitely keep them in our prayers.
Yeah, and Jermaine says service is tentatively at 12 noon on Saturday down there in Gadsden. And also, this is what T wasn't able to join us tonight, but kind words every time I saw him on campus or at events. He was very approachable and showed appreciation for what we did. He will be missed. Yeah, mm-hmm. T. Gooden. So God bless you. God bless you. God bless you, Trustee Watts. Love you, man. And, yeah, you'll be missed. One of the greatest. So next week, we will be back. And what next week has, next week we get to talk about what's going on down in New Orleans. We did talk about it earlier with our boy, but next week we get to talk about it. So special thanks tonight to Mr. Wright and Mario for joining us from the band as they head on out to California to participate in the Honda Battle of the Bands. Also, special thanks to Tracie and Sylvester from YMTF, the task force, Youth Motivation Task Force. And they have their initiative that's going on, registration until February the 14th. So make sure you do your part. So Dave and Jen, this was great tonight. Next week we'll be back. Shout out to T. Gooden, Corey's traveling, and also to DT. So next week we will see you all again. Also, everybody, please make sure you like the stream. Hit the like button, man. Like the stream. And if you have not subscribed to this YouTube channel, this is your first time watching this, go ahead and hit that button and subscribe, man. We got a lot of great shows that we've had out here, and we're going to continue to keep it rolling. So Jay the Great, Just Dave, Wild Wayne Cartwright. Yeah, we'll see you here next week. God bless and good night.